For catching fish, to me, isn't that fun? I catch fish all the time, you know.
Right.
That's what I do for a living. I fish 5 days a week, probably.
Right.
Like winding and fishing, to me, is not that exciting. Outsmarting one, that's a cool thing. Yeah, tricking one.
Hey guys, hope y'all are still enjoying our content from iCast 2024. Lots more to come. Keep the notifications on, like and subscribe.
All right, we're here at Z-Man, and we're here with Mr. Luke Clausen, and he's basically sponsored by Z-Man. Is that right?
Yeah, they're a sponsor of mine. Yeah.
Okay, really? Well, he said he's a freshwater guy, right?
Well, I'm a professional bass fisherman.
Okay.
I know some of the stuff about the saltwater new products,
right?
No.
Well, we sell mostly fresh water. It's just that when we think of Z-Man, we've always thought of salt water. I wasn't aware Z-Man has a fresh water that you use for bass fishing.
Oh, yeah. They make more freshwater stuff than they do saltwater
Okay,
stuff.
see, that's just whatever you can show us on the saltwater side that you know about, and then we'll move to freshwater.
So some of it's multi-species. Glide through Molotron and Shadtron, some swim baits that we have here, replacement hooks for them. That's kind of something you can use for salt or freshwater.
I recently bought this, didn't realize that it was actually made by, I didn't realize the Molotron was y'all's.
Molotron, so that came out last year and the Shadtron came out this year. That's a new line through swim bait, top or bottom hook. So there's a channel to run it through the bottom.
Okay.
If you want to do a treble, or there's a harness in there you can put this top hook in.
And this thing looks so realistic, it's unreal.
Oh yeah.
And what I like is the hook in this fish has the hook in his mouth and hopefully stays there while this guy slides up the line. That's right, isn't it?
That's very true. When we get to the other side, I can show you one out of the package and how it works. A couple other new things I have in the micro finesse stuff. Guppy grubs, more crappie size baits, micro worms, big with the trout fishermen. The rattlesnake is a tool we've had out for a while. Elastic being a different beast, it's hard to push a weight or something in there because it just pops back out. Now there's tungsten inserts for it, so we can just push this into there, drop whatever you want in there, and you insert it into the elastic. On the saltwater side, inshore is the big ballers. This is something that started in Texas. A lot of guys down there wanted it. A lot of action on a jig head, or they're throwing our weight at EWG for redfish and trout mostly. A lot of inshore inspired colors. The prawn stars, pre-rigged shrimp bait. Again, something I'm not real familiar with that I don't fish for the inshore stuff, but a popular style for reds and trout. Really durable, of course, out of the elastic, weight in the bottom, so it's going to center and sit upright on the bottom.
From a pro staff guy or whatever, do you think the realistic look, because I'm always confused, and maybe you can kind of answer this a little bit for me and the viewers. I can take a gold spoon and catch a redfish, which looks nothing to me like as good as that, and this is like going to all the lengths to look really good. Do you think that
the clarity of the water and the speed really determine how good of a look fish can get at stuff? So we look at moving something by them really fast. Well, they can't see it very well. If the water's dirty, they can't see it as well. They see more hues.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I think it's situations.
So it's always according to kind of the clarity of the water. So
how important it is. Now, not saying in dirtier water something really realistic doesn't work as good.
Sure.
But yeah, it's more important in clear water for the realism, in my opinion.
So if I'm bay fishing, I bay fish in St. Joe, it's usually pretty clear. Occasionally it gets cloudy. I guess maybe the cloudier days of water, the gold spoon, no problem, because they just see a flash, they grab.
That's kind of a mirage or an illusion to them, I'm sure.
Okay, I got you.
They can't really identify it as well.
Right.
Yet they can see a shrimp sitting on the bottom.
That's right.
They also can tell how it falls, if it falls like a natural piece of forage.
And I see that the video here falling really good, so let's move on around there.
Somebody's lost their shoe.
No, it's me. Look at my new shoes, man. Check it out. So
you just bought 2 pairs.
They gave me some over at the Extra Tough booth.
He's crazy, and he thinks that's fashion.
He's definitely going to get some looks.
About getting hit by a car with that kind of shoes on. They'll see you coming.
Hey, that's a good sales point right there.
The line through we were talking about here. So that's a top hook version. You can see our hook's just going to lay in there like that, and it doesn't move at all. You can skip it under docks, whatever. But when you hook a fish, it's going to slide up the line, so the fish has no leverage against you when it's jumping. Super durable, everything holds up.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. So is it actually running through like a like a plastic tube in there?
Yeah, you can see that there, that your line can run down through here or through there if you want a top hook or bottom hook. And with the bottom hook, you can have a treble hook like this here. It has wire keepers on it. It'll take your hook, and so it holds it like that until a fish bites it, and then it just pops out here. As it comes back, it pops out.
Is that already out in stores, or?
No, they're not available until this fall. They're being released right now. I think the date on them was August 15th, maybe. So late summer, coming up. Yeah. So obviously the two sizes. Here you can see the difference. One of them's pretty finessey, obviously, and a full-size one. One of the other new baits we have out is the graph shad. This is a bait I'm pretty familiar with. I've used quite a bit. Worked on the R&D with it. It's a forward-facing bait. It's a line-through design, but it's a line through that you tie the eye on the bottom. So you have a consistent pull point on the top. It's a pre-rigged body and hook, and it's got an air chamber in it also here that makes it show up even better on forward-facing sonar. So it's a minnow-style bait, really designed for forward-facing sonar, but also something you can cast around, just fish, and you catch them on it that way too. It's really, like, again, really designed for that forward-facing look. Very subtle in the water, but you get some tail movement out of it at pretty much any speed. Another bait we came out with last year was a chatterbait Evo, and this is the chatterbait Tungsten Evo. So it's an all tungsten head, obviously a little bit smaller. It's a lot crisper feeling the way the blade hits that tungsten head. And it runs a little bit deeper with that weight forward being isolated that much more. So a different version of the Evo that's already been really successful, caught a lot of fish over the last year or two. Another one is the Chatter Shad. This is a new trail. It was designed as a chatterbait trailer. See, it's got a segmented body, gets a lot of movement out of your chatterbait. It's a really streamlined body inside your chatterbait, so it'll allow it to hunt a lot more as it deflects off stuff or you twitch it with a rod tip. And a bait that I've actually used forward-facing sonar a lot too. One of the last things are the TRD fatties. So the fatties worm has been a really popular worm from Z-Man. This year is a TRD size version of it. So it's got a bulbous tail, a lot of action on a Ned head, drop shot. I've rigged it on a Nico and caught a lot of fish also. A bunch of different colors, different variation. And lastly is drop kickers. This is a 3.5 and there's a 275 version. So it's a small wedge tail on a drop shot style bait. But it also works good on a jig head. Another bait that has a subtle forward-facing look, really tight kick to the tail. Again, this is a 3.5, comes in a 275, and I believe that's 10 different colors also.
Let me ask you a quick question real quick. What is it about Z-Man that you like the best? Materials? I don't know.
The Elastec is a big thing. It just reacts differently to regular plastisol.
Right.
It's buoyant. It has a lot more action. Of course, it's a lot more durable. It's a lot more durable, than regular plastic. To me, that's not as important as the fact that it continues to move all the time. Because of the buoyancy, it wants to move around with very little action. So the Elastec's a really cool thing. I've been with Z-Man since 2008, I think. So a lot of years I've spent with them. I've seen the company grow from where there really wasn't much other than the original chatterbait and a few plastics. And now it's a lot of innovative stuff. Really nice that I get to work with my product design portion of it. Because we get to make baits that work, that help me make a living and make money in tournaments.
So they respond to you?
Oh yeah, I work with the product designer. I mean, I talk to him no less than an hour a week, I'm sure.
Wow.
Working on new products all the time.
I mean, that's good to know that the company basically is listening to people who are out on the water and actually fishing and just say, hey, this is what we need to be thinking about, and then they're responding to that and creating a product. So
in all the products, this bait here we talked about, I've dealt with it for 2 years now. And I bet I've seen 5 or 6 different renditions of that. And then I'll tweak on them too at home. But
where would you use that? Like, give me a scenario where you would say, I need this bait.
Forward-facing sonar is the number one thing. But we've realized with forward-facing sonar that a jig head minnow catches fish all the time. And now, we just never threw it before, right? I never threw a jig head minnow reeling through the water column or shaking it through there. But now I'll go out with buddies and I'll let them use the forward-face and just go fish. And it's amazing how many you catch just fishing with it. So, I mean, you can use it any place the water's fairly clear, fish are suspended, and or they're around bait. It's going to get bites, especially in the bass world, with bass and walleye. There's guys doing it for specks and reds and stuff now too. I think the fun of this for me is that all the time you're watching those fish, you're understanding more how they react to their environment.
So you're learning about them.
And I'm learning more about fish.
That's right.
Like for catching fish, to me, isn't that fun? I catch fish all the time, you know.
Right.
That's what I do for a living. I fish 5 days a week, probably.
Right.
Like winding and fishing, to me, is not that exciting. Outsmarting one, that's a cool thing. Tricking one.
Well, man, it was a great interview, man. That was awesome footage. We appreciate that, and we wish you luck in all your fishing stuff, you know.
I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me on social media.
Okay.
Z-Man will answer any questions you have about any of this stuff also.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for Z-Man.